When did making plans get this complicated? It's time to streamline with WhatsApp, the secure messaging app that brings the whole group together. Use polls to settle dinner plans. Send event invites and pin messages so no one forgets Mom's 60th. And never miss a meme or milestone. All protected with end-to-end encryption. It's time for WhatsApp. Message privately with everyone. Learn more at whatsapp.com.
Hello, and welcome to It's a Fandom Thing. I'm your host, Erin Marlowe, and each week I'm joined by a panel of guests to discuss all things fandom and pop culture, primarily from a female perspective. You'll find everything from fanfic, to cosplay, to Schitt's Creek, to Supernatural, and everything in between. So put on your favorite piece of fandom merch, set aside that fanfic that you're writing about your OTP, and sit back and enjoy this week's episode. Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of Pop Culture and Fandom News. I'm your host, Erin Marlowe, and on Friday's episode, we are kicking off our annual celebration of Horror Month with a look at the film Sinners from this year, from 2025. If you haven't watched it, you have a couple days to watch it because we are going to be spoiling it, so I'm giving you a heads up spoiler warning. But joining me for that episode and this week's Pop Culture and Fandom News episode is first up from OK Real Quick podcast, Carla. Hello, Carla.
Hello, Erin, and people of the world. I don't know.
Now I've got that spice up your life, people. That's Spice Girls.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you. And then also joining me, and she hasn't been on in forever, and so I'm so happy to have her back, is Kim from Big Reputations podcast. Hello, Kim.
Hi, everybody. I feel like I only show up during spooky season. Like I'm Jeepers Creepers. Like I only show up for the horror.
But that's I get it. Hey. And then last but certainly not least is Tiff. Hello, Tiff.
Hi. Hey. Hello. It's great to be here. As always. Like I'm not being sarcastic. Like
now I think you're being sarcastic.
No. I promise. No, I love my peoples.
This is exactly how I wanted to spend my Friday night. But I'm excited to have all three of you here this week, and this panel will also be returning at the end of the month when we round out Horror Month with a look at my favorite horror movie featuring my favorite horror villain, Michael Myers, and that's 1978's Halloween, John Carpenter's Halloween to be exact. So that'll be fun too. But first, let's get started with some pop culture and fandom news. So, Carla, what is one thing in fandom or pop culture that you're excited about, you're looking forward to, you're pissed as hell about?
What I'm into this week, I've finally made the move out of Spotify. And what I decided to go with was this platform called Qobuz, and it's Qobuz. I had never heard about it before, except that there's an Instagram account that tells you like things that you can substitute for companies that you might be using that are maybe not companies that you want to be using. And they brought up this as a suggestion, and I was like, oh, okay, well, I can definitely give it a try. And, okay, I'm going to start right off the bat. They don't have every song on the planet. You know, it's not like Spotify where it's like almost a guarantee that you'll find whatever song you want on there. But it has enough of the music that I want that I made the switch. And the one thing that kept me like, I don't know that I want to commit to this is that they didn't have the soundtrack for the motion picture version of the soundtrack of Jesus Christ Superstar. And honestly, if you're not going to have that particular version of the Jesus Christ Superstar soundtrack, what are you even doing? What is going on in your life that you can't? But, you know, for one thing, the music quality is a lot better than Spotify. And, you know, I feel less gross using it. So I'm migrating all of my music over. Funny thing. Okay, so Cobas is not the thing that I'm into. What I'm into is that in in migrating my music to Cobas, like I'm suddenly like, oh, this album I haven't heard in years. Oh, this album. Oh my God, I forgot that it existed. So one of the albums that I forgot existed is an album by an artist called Joseph Arthur. And it's called Our Shadows Will Remain. Now, Joseph Arthur, if you've never heard of him, that's okay. I probably wouldn't have either, except that one night I was reading Entertainment Weekly and they happened to mention Our Shadows Will Remain by Joseph Arthur, the year that it was released, which is like early 2000s. And I was in search of new music. It's like, it's a new year coming up. I want new music. So I just bought it because I was like, okay, I'm going to give this a try. Just bought the CD. I bought the CD and then it arrived at my house and I listened to it, immediately fell in love. So when I'm, queuing up all of my music in Cobas and coming across this album, I was like, oh my God, this brings back so many memories. And the thing with this particular album is that it has so many different styles in it. Joseph Arthur is a very interesting artist, and every song I think is beautiful, and I love them. So if you just want to try out an album that you've never heard of by an artist you've never heard of before, try Our Shadows Will Remain by Joseph Arthur, because why not?
Awesome. And it's still September. No, it'll be October 1st when this drops. What I'm talking about. Never mind. I was going to say it's still Music Month, but it's only still Music Month when we're recording this. So
look at me bridging the gaps.
So Kim,
I am into it. It's a little bit retro. It's this month is the 25th anniversary of Bring It On. So I just went to go see that in theaters, and I loved the movie as a kid. It was really funny and had a really, really good soundtrack that I bought on CD. I went to Sam Getty and purchased it. I remember it. But like seeing it as an adult in theaters was really different. Like I didn't remember the statement that it's making about like cultural appropriation. Like it's so loud. Like I always thought Gabrielle Union and her squad were like really mean to not understand like the situation that like Kristen Stewart's like squad didn't know that they were stealing these things. But now, like as like a 39-year-old, I completely understand it. Like Gabrielle Union squad was pissed because they're doing this great work and they're getting robbed, and they're seeing it on ESPN every year. These white girls doing it with like no credit or anything. So, I mean, I love the idea of it coming like full circle. I can see like the adult part of it. But I don't know, the movie was really, really good. I forgot how good it was. Like outside of the whole cultural appropriation, there's like a really great romantic comedy. There's Jesse Bradford, who I haven't seen in forever. I don't think he acts anymore, maybe. It's an age-appropriate love story that's happening. And like everybody's got really good comedic timing. I was just like so in awe of how good this movie was. Like I think when I was a kid, it was kind of a throwaway, but it holds up. I don't feel like a lot of things from the early 2000s, like late 90s, like hold up, but Bring It On absolutely holds up.
there are so many things celebrating anniversaries this year, and I feel so old.
Yeah.
So-
Oh, I absolutely felt very old. I like went to get out of the seat and had to go like to get out, and I was like, yep. 25 years later.
When I get out of my chairs now, my son is like, oh, old people noises.
Jeez, wow.
My son can't say old people noises because he's 18 months. But when he gets out of a chair, sometimes he'll make the noise too. And it's like, oh, he got that from us. He's imitating. He thinks that's the noise you make when you get out of a chair, and it's not.
F them kids. I'm sorry, but F them kids. And I say that with 2 children of my own. F them kids.
But it is funny though how many things are like celebrating something, and the fact that stuff that came out in 2000 is 25 and able to like, is that when you're able to rent a car? I can't remember. Is it 25?
Yeah, 25.
Yeah. So now those
No.
movies can rent cars. now, and that's just not right.
No.
Those
No.
kids can rent cars now.
Time is a false construct.
Yeah. Did they have like a special screening of it because of the 25th anniversary then?
Yeah, they just had, it wasn't like a movie party. It was just, they aired it and that was it. I thought there was going to be a movie party. But then for the showings after ours, they had like like a Q&A with the cast that they had recorded somewhere. And I was like, but I saw it today. Why are you showing that next week? So I'm going to try and find it somewhere. I'm sure the internet has it. But I thought that kind of bummed me out. I was like, I would have loved to have seen the Q&A, but they just had the movie.
That's a bummer, but that's
Yeah.
cool to see it on the big screen. Yeah. And Tiff, what are you into?
Erin, you finally got me. You finally got me. And, just in time for spooky season, I started Interview with the Vampire. And yes, dear people out there listening, Erin, as usual, was right. And I am loving it and I'm obsessed. And I can't watch the final 3 episodes of season 2 because shout out to Moth because they are a real one for giving the recommendation about Hoopla because season 2 is not on Netflix. It's on Hoopla, which all you need is a library card, folks. So get that library card out and go ahead and enter it in completely free. The only caveat with that is there are a hard limit of 8 borrows per month. So I ran out of borrows. So I'm stuck right now with 3 episodes to go of season 2. I'm like, I want it now. I want it now.
I know I keep waiting to hear your reactions to this to the season 2 finale. I cannot wait to hear your
because the season 1 finale was so, just like, wow. Just a lot. It was an awful lot. And we chatted on the Discord about I wasn't really feeling the recast of Claudia because I really, really liked the original Claudia. But Erin tells me that something's coming down the pipeline where it really makes sense. So I'm still waiting on that. I figure that it's in those last 3 episodes. So that's where we are, dear listeners. But I love it. And I knew I was going to like it a lot because, I love Jacob Anderson, who plays Louis Pont du Lac. Since Game of Thrones, he played Grey Worm in Game of Thrones. He did so much where he barely even spoke. Like, he was very monosyllabic in Game of Thrones. But he's amazing. He's amazing because, he was when we did our special Patreon episode, Erin, was Louis from the movie, was he our number 1 we hate him vampire, right?
He was definitely in the top, the top couple there. Yeah. I can't remember if he was number 1 or
It was either 1 or 2 for both. Like, we basically swapped. I think we might have had like Angel as number 1 and him as number 2, but yeah. So basically we hate Barf Spittoon and you talk about somebody that took material that was right there for something absolutely great because, we know Tom Cruise is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, allegedly in real life, but he gave this inspired performance as Lestat in Interview with the Vampire. Kristen Stewart, not Stewart, my bad. Kirsten Dunst.
I totally was like, yeah, you're right. Oh wait, no, that's Twilight. That's Twilight.
Wind it back. Wrong Kirsten Dunst as Claudia, completely blew my mind. And she was how old? 11 or something like that. And then you have Barf Spittoon, just laying a big old fat do on the material. So Jacob Anderson, hurrah. Sam Reed, really like you. You're doing amazing, sweetie. With my camera, you're doing amazing. So yeah, loving it. Can't wait to see the last 3 episodes. Hoopla.
Well, season 2 will be on Netflix. It would have already dropped by the time this episode drops. It'll be on Netflix on September 30th. So yeah.
I have a question. Did you say that you did an episode about worst vampires?
Oh my gosh, we did worst and best.
And you ranked Angel as the worst?
One of the worst. Yeah, it was a Patreon bonus episode we did last year.
Why?
Because Angel sucks.
More than Twilight?
I don't think we even talked about Twilight.
I wasn't on the episode.
But he's not the worst vampire there is.
No, Buffy's my favorite. My favorite show ever. Legitimately.
Yes.
Aaron and Carla know Buffy is my favorite show of all time, literally of all time.
Mm-hmm.
But he flip-flops between worst for me, between him and Louis from the film. He flip-flops.
Fair.
Yeah, we go in depth.
Yeah,
You should go
'cause
back and listen to it.
Well, you have to be a Patreon subscriber. You have to be a Patreon subscriber to listen to it. So if you want to hear Tiff and I talk about that, become a Patreon subscriber today via the link in the show notes or the support us tab on our website. It's a fandomthingpod.com. So yeah, I can't remember where I put Angel, but I'm not an Angel fan, so there's some spoilers there. But I know Louis was up there. But I had already started watching Interview with the Vampire, the television series, and I had like Louis on my best vampires already. And so it was such an interesting thing to have the two different portrayals. But I have to say, it's been so exciting that you're watching that and Carla watched The Bear. So it's like my two current favorite shows you both are watching. So it's like, or watched in the case of Carla. So it's like, it's just been really nice to have like, to hear people talking about shows I love and falling in love with them. So I was like, what in the hell am I going to talk about? I really had no idea. But then I'll just mention this. It's totally silly and cheesy. And I know I'm late to the party here, but I started watching the show Traitors with Alan Cumming on Peacock. And I really had no desire to watch this show. Then I kind of got talked into it. And I actually really am enjoying it. I think it's a lot of fun. Alan Cumming is so good. And like the different outfits he wears every time are amazing. So I'm really into it. It's just light fare. And I think right now it's hard to find that. And it's light, distracting stuff. Half the people on there, I don't know who they are because I don't watch a lot of the shows. So I'm like, I have no idea who you are. But it's fun. It's fun. And I know it's a huge popular one that people are really into. So I don't know if anybody else on my panel watches it. I think Kim does by your reaction.
I did start watching it very randomly, mostly for Alan Cummings because I don't watch reality TV. So I didn't know a lot of people. And I would talk to other people who did watch a lot of reality TV and they're like, this person is doing that. And I was like, I don't know these housewives. I just know that this one woman is funny. Like, I think it's interesting going in not knowing the backstory or like the perceived like personality of a person. I'm just like, like Sandoval is on one of the seasons and apparently he cheated on someone and it was a huge scandal. I don't know. He was just the funny guy from Traitors for me. But that show you're right. It's very light. It's very enjoyable. It's fun. I really did enjoy it.
Yeah. And I mean, it's very, tongue in cheek and, they pick the traitors and then like they like have to, what are they called? Oh my gosh, what are they called? The people that aren't traitors?
The truthfuls? Faithfuls.
Faithfuls. Thank you. Yes. Yeah. And so the faithfuls are trying to guess which ones are traitors and all this stuff. And you're watching it like sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, you're acting like a traitor and you're a traitor. You're being stupid. And you're going to get yourself out of here. And then that did happen a couple times. But my sister like loves Survivor. And so she's told me like, oh, that person is such a dick and that person is this and that person is that. And I'm like, I have no clue because I don't watch that. So it's been interesting. But yeah, so that's on Peacock. And I know most of you out there are probably like, yeah, duh. Because I know this was a huge deal. So. But it's good escapism. Okay, well, we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, I'm sure if people knew this trailer was out, no one should be shocked to know what trailer we're going to talk about. So we'll be back to talk about the trailer for The Bride.
Go all in on fall with Abercrombie Kids. Their newest drop of on-trend outfits are ready for everything, from the bus stop to family bonfires. And it wouldn't be fall without football. Gear up the kids with officially licensed NFL tees and sweatshirts. Shop Abercrombie Kids this season in the app, online, and in-store.
Okay, so originally, The Bride, Maggie Gyllenhaal's The Bride, was supposed to come out this year, but then it's been postponed to next year because of Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein movie. So they're like, we can't have two. We don't want to go back to the days of Armageddon and Deep Impact.
Heaven forbid.
So instead, they pushed this to March of next year. So this, of course, stars, among other people, our unofficial mascot, Christian effing Bale. So, of course, we had to cover it. I don't know why I said effing instead of fucking, but anyway. So, of course, we have to talk about this trailer, and we will cover the movie as a special episode next year as well. But I want to get the reactions of my panelists. And for people listening, this is the time you pause, go to the show notes, click the link there so you can watch the trailer too, and then hit play again, and we'll be back to talk about The Bride. Okay, so we have just watched the trailer for Maggie Gyllenhaal's upcoming movie, The Bride, which is, of course, a take on The Bride of Frankenstein. And so, Carla, what are your thoughts on this trailer and the film in general? Or the film in general, like you've seen the film.
Yes, let me give you my review of the film that I will be watching in the future. Instead, though, I will be giving you, oh my God, I'm so excited for this. I'm even more excited than I was the first time that I watched the trailer. It has like everything that I needed to have. It has like weird razzle dazzle. It has Christian Bale being creepy. It has really like cool looking wardrobe. I also really like that it's set in like the not too distant past. It's like right between, not quite right between, but it's like kind of in between when the Frankenstein novel was written and now. And it also has like a Bonnie and Clyde vibe going on, which is very interesting. So I can't wait to see it. Like it's gonna be fun. It could have just come out now. Like honestly, why can't we watch more than one Frankenstein movie at the same time? Please. We can multitask.
I know. And the fact that we have to wait like a lot of months to see it. So it's like, yeah.
Don't do this to us. Just give it to us now.
I know. Yep. So Kim, was this your first time watching the trailer?
It was. I'm very intrigued. Has Maggie Gyllenhaal directed before?
Yes, she did. Oh. I can't remember the name of the movie now. But yeah, a totally different kind of movie than this.
All right. I'm very intrigued. I like Christian Bale. I like when he's being weird. So I'm very intrigued. The only thing I'm like, is a pause. The lead, the only thing I've seen her in was this movie called Men that I absolutely hated. So I'm like, she's going to make me hate this movie. But like, I can overlook it. But I'm interested. I'm going to watch this. This looks like fun.
Yeah, I actually don't know if I've seen Jessie Buckley in too much of anything. She's like beloved, like people love her.
Yeah,
like she's been like, there was some movie she did that I can't remember that like people were like upset she didn't win like an Oscar for it. So she's like really beloved. But she's also in a movie that's coming out that has been in the festival circuits called Hamnet, which is all about Hamlet, the making of Hamlet being based on the fact of William Shakespeare and his wife losing their young son. And she plays Shakespeare's wife. And that movie is supposed to be like mind-blowingly good. So yeah, but yeah. Sorry, that's totally not on the topic.
I brought it up. You needed to defend her because I was ready.
Oh, no, I have no opinion on her. I was just talking about how most people just like, she's like this darling in the film world. So, but I don't really know her work too well. I never saw Men because I heard so many horrible reviews about it that I just kind of went, I can watch it.
It was not good. It made me very upset. Like I paid money to see it in theaters and it was not good.
That's what I've heard. Yeah. So, Tiff, what are your thoughts? Was this your first time watching it too?
No, I did see it when it first dropped. And the first thing, it is intriguing to me, the time frame that they've placed it in. Looks like it's probably the late 30s, early 40s. Whereas, obviously the whole Frankenstein, whatever you want to say, vibes are early 1800s. So big difference between that. We've got like G-men with machine guns and stuff, which is very interesting. It gives me like almost kind of a more chill Bonnie and Clyde type of vibe, which I'm kind of digging that. I don't know Jessie Buckley. I have not seen her in anything before. I looked at her filmography and her CV, and I haven't seen any of these things. I will go ahead and not watch Men because Kim said that she was pissed about paying money for it. So I'll go ahead and avoid that one. But yeah, I think it's classic, looks like classic Christian Bale being his at his most Christian Bale-ness. Can't wait to see when he swings by in January. I can't wait to see what he says, what he has to say about it. Because I know he'll have some thoughts, you know. I will say
Yeah.
this though. I will say this. Look, like you mentioned about and top-notch, top-tier mentioning of Armageddon and Deep Impact. Chef's kiss. Thank you for that. We can multitask. We can have more than one spooky Frankenstein type movie, you know? Like this is perfect for spooky season. This is absolutely built for spooky season. Even if you
Yeah.
didn't decide to drop it in October, you could push it slightly back to November. What is the problem? I'm very upset about that. This is not built for March.
Yeah.
Exactly.
March is leprechauns.
It's not an Easter film.
Thank you.
Because originally this was supposed to drop in October.
Exactly.
And then they just and it's so different than the Frankenstein movie. I haven't seen the Frankenstein movie, but just the trailers. It's so different from that. It's not even like in the same world as far as like it's not in the same time period. Nothing like that. So it's not like you'd be like two films that are exactly alike, and so you can't watch them. It's and I'm excited for Frankenstein. I've heard very mixed things. Like some people really love it, and then others don't. And I've actually heard, which just shocks the hell out of me because he doesn't do anything for me. But Jacob Elordi, who plays the monster, is supposed to be absolutely incredible. So, which is like, what? Really? Okay. I'm sorry. He just doesn't do much for me, but
Hard same with that. I don't see it. I don't get it.
yeah. I think this looks amazing. I really didn't know what to expect. I had seen like stills before, and I had seen like behind the scenes footage of when they were filming and had heard little bits about what it was about and everything, but I had no idea really what to expect. And this looks so good. It looks very it looks dark and twisted, but in a different way than maybe I was expecting. And it looks like probably, and I mean, that's the way you usually are in the Frankenstein story anyway, I think, is that you might be rooting for the monsters instead of the human beings, you know, quote unquote, you know, I mean, I know they're people before, but you know what I mean. But I'm excited about it. It looks very punk rockish, and that's what I've heard it was. And the makeup on the bride is like, oh my gosh, and the hair and that's amazing. That must have been so much fun. And the makeup on Christian, and I am glad to see Christian doing a role where he gets to be I know he does done this before, but I mean where he gets to be in a horror film again, and he gets to be kind of out there. So I'm excited to see him in it. And yes, I'm excited to hear what Christian fucking Bale has to say about this in January when we celebrate Christian. I can't wait to hear him talk about some behind the scenes stuff, what he learned about himself while playing Frankenstein. And then or Frankenstein's monster, excuse me. But when we visit the movie, when we cover it in March, you know, we can really delve into it with him. Quote
I'm sure
unquote.
he'll be eager to share all of his thoughts and feelings.
Yes. So remember, that's coming up soon in a couple of months. Oh my gosh.
I know.
Holy crap. Okay. Well, we're going to take another quick break. And when we come back, we're just going to have some fun because I was like, I can't put another thing on here right now that's heavy. So we are going to come back. And since our first two films for this month that we're covering for Horror Month are vampire movies, we are going to be talking about who we would like to see play a vampire in a movie that hasn't before. I forgot to put that on there. So if you didn't pick one that hasn't before, that's fine. So we'll be right back.
Routine, adjective, used to describe an individual whose spirit is unyielding, unconstrained, one who navigates life on their own terms, effortlessly. They do not always show up on time, but when they arrive, you notice. An individual confident in their contradictions. They know the rules but behave as if they do not exist. Routine. The new fragrance by Miu Miu. Defined by you.
Okay, so Carla, if you could cast anyone to play a vampire in a movie, who would you cast and why?
Well, obviously I can't cast Jensen Ackles because he's already played a vampire. So that's already like, he's done that. This one, it was kind of hard because I think more often I would want to see people who I would want to see hunting vampires than being vampires. But I think I would like to see a funny take on a vampire. I would like to see somebody just being very goofy and fun with it. If I'm wrong and she's already done this, then sorry. I don't recall her having played a vampire, but Regina Hall, I think, would be amazing and hilarious as a vampire. I want to see a horror comedy with Regina Hall as a vampire and her just being, because she has like this awesome way of being very subtly unsubtle. So I could see her like, trying to hide that she's a vampire and kind of like not doing a very good job at it. And it's just being completely funny and playing it as she's a newish vampire who's just trying to get her first bite and she's going about it the wrong way. And then eventually she finds somebody who's like, you know what, just go ahead and bite me. Like, I'm not really committed to this whole life thing anyway. And you look really hungry. So, and she's like, well, now I feel bad. So like that's my fan casting for vampire.
I knew that's who you were going to say. I do not know how, but I knew.
What?
Wow. I knew that's who
amazing.
You were going to say.
That's amazing. Oh my God. You know me too well at this point, Erin. Like I think we have officially crossed that threshold where you just know my each and every thought and it's completely bananas.
Yeah, I was like that. I was like, Carla's going to say Regina Hall.
That's amazing.
I don't know if I'll be able to predict everybody, but I predicted you. And I don't know if everybody has been watching. Regina Hall is on the press tour for One Battle After Another, the new Paul Thomas Anderson movie. And I love watching her do press. She is so fun to watch in interviews, especially if you watch any of the clips of her on Amy Poehler's podcast, Good Hang. She's so good. She's
I've
funny.
never listened to her podcast, but I keep watching the clips.
Yeah, she's so funny, and watching her with the rest of the cast too, and she's telling this story on the circuit of the fact that she is next door neighbors with Paul Thomas Anderson. And if you don't know who Paul Thomas Anderson is married to and has been married to for 25 years, it's Maya Rudolph. He went over there one day and she was redoing her yard. And she thought that's why he was there. And so she's like, well, this is what I'm doing with my yard. And this is what I'm doing. And he just patiently listened. And then he's like, well, I'm actually here because I want you to be in a movie. So it's been fun watching her do that.
And it could be fun watching her be a vampire too.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sure she'd do it. Yeah. I don't think she's ever done that. I mean, she was never turned into a vampire in the Scary Movie.
I don't think so, right? Where is the representation for vampires who get turned after like their teens and their 20s? Like, where are the 30 and 40 and 50 plus vampires? You're telling me that like nobody has ever turned somebody into a vampire past their adolescence? The ageism it never stops.
Yeah, that's true. Ageism and vampires never stops. No, well, she did become psychic in Scary Movie after she died and then was brought back or it was like the near-death experience or whatever, and she came back psychic, but she wasn't very good at being psychic, if I'm remembering.
So she has experience being somebody who's not very good at something. So
there you go. And I also wanted to ask, did you say that also because when she was on the Amy Poehler one, there's a clip where they're talking about zombie movies and a zombie apocalypse and how they just want to die. They wouldn't want to be bitten. They just want to die.
You know what? No, like I actually thought of it. I thought of her for a vampire movie before I saw the clip. And then I was like, you know what? It's close enough.
I'm the same way, by the way. I wouldn't want to survive in an apocalyptic world like that. No, thank you.
It sounds like work.
It sounds like
Like,
hell.
you think I want to learn to farm?
No. So, Kim, I'm trying to put on my psychic hat here, but so who would you want to see play a vampire?
So I put 2 people, and I'm glad I did because I didn't know the caveat about if they've played a vampire. So I Googled it real quick. No, I Googled it real quick, and I was like, this is why I have in my head that they should play a good vampire, because I put Sterling K. Brown, and then I was like, Supernatural, vampire slayer, then a vampire for a hot second. But that's why I have it in my head. I'm like, he's mysterious. He's like really modern or classic. Like he's timeless looking. So would be perfect. And he has kind of sometimes when he wants to, he has like a sinister look about him. So I think he'd do a good vampire. And then when I Googled it, like the first thing that comes up is him with like the red eyes and the teeth. And I was like, oh, maybe I just remembered it so much in my head because it came to me in 2 seconds. I was like, oh, Sterling K. Brown, of course. But then I put, because like Carla, I was like, I would want a funny take. Jack Black, I think would be a hysterical, like Nacho Libre type vampire comedy. Would be so funny. Like he could get bit as an older dude. He gets bit and he's like, should I fight crime? Should I bite people? What should I do? I would pay to see that movie. I think it would be hilarious.
He could be in the same movie with Regina Hall.
Oh my God.
Here's the thing. They should be in different movies and they should come out the same month.
Yes.
There's enough room in this world for 2 vampire horror comedies. Let's do this.
I'm here for it. I love it.
Let's start writing the scripts. I did not predict that, but Sterling K. Brown is a great choice too. And even though he's played one, but in a way that could also not count because it was for like 5 seconds.
Yeah.
But of course, Jensen Ackles could not count because that was for 5 seconds too. So, you know.
I just love that my mind is always like leading back to Supernatural. Like I've watched it so many times. It's just like in the back of my brain. And I don't even know it.
Yes, I understand. I do a whole other podcast covering so it's like always there in the background. It's like always there. But yeah, plus Sterling K. Brown can do anything. So, Yep. So, Tiff.
I feel like the dream makers are making dreams come true right now. Just
Look at us.
I mean, the talent, just the talent. So I picked an actor and an actress because, why not? But I picked Daniel Kaluuya as one. And I figured because he has like a background in horror, he could be like a really, I don't know if I put him in like a specific time frame. I guess if I did put him in a time frame, I'd be looking something like maybe the kind of a 60s kind of British vampire vibe, very, very interesting, I think. I think as a Brit vampire, he would be really interesting. So, and then maybe playing opposite him, Lupita Nyong'o with butter, because I think she can do no wrong. Everything she touches is gold. So those are my 2. Like I said, yeah, no real time frame because I think you can just shove them anywhere and it works, like wherever they go. So I think that could be gold though.
But did you mention whether you wanted it to be a comedy or like a more serious one?
I feel like a dramedy could work with it because Daniel Kaluuya, although he's done a lot of drama, I feel like he's got a lot of comedy in him. And I know Lupita is funny because like she posts videos with her and her cat and it's just like, come on now. Come on. She's a cat mom and she's so great with him. So I know, I think a dramedy could work for the both of them. Like a little heavier on the drama, but like definitely comedic elements.
Yeah, great choices there. Mine, and straight up, it would not be a comedy. It would be more darker and everything. And that would be Kelvin Harrison Jr. So he's been doing things, but I've loved him for a long time. He's such a good actor. And I think he's one of the best actors of his generation. And he did a horror movie, but he hasn't done like a straight up, like, really bloody horror movie that I can think of. And I just think he'd be really good. He'd be really, really good at it. And it'd be really cool because he's also an amazing singer. If you combined some kind of music element, not making it a musical, but like some kind of music element to it as well, I think he could do a really good job too. So that is who I pick. Well, thank you, Carla, Kim, and Tiff for joining me for this week's episode of Pop Culture and Fandom News. We can go ahead and close out, and everybody can say where they can be found and where their podcasts can be found. So, Carla, tell everybody where OK Real Quick can be found.
Thank you for asking, Erin. I'm happy to oblige. You can find OK Real Quick wherever you found this podcast. You can also find our social media. I keep saying our. It's just me. It's okay. It's the royal we. You can find our social media wherever you social your media. Look for @OK Real Quick Pod, and you may find us, you may not. It's, it's a time to take chances. And I suggest that, just, this is an easy one. Just give it a shot. Follow us if you find us. Not literally. You can also look for me, my art, and my musings, Carla Temis, Instagram and TikTok only, and my website, carlatemis.com. That's CarlaTemis.com.
Awesome. Thank you. And Kim, co-host of Big Reputations Pod, where can that be found in you?
Anywhere you get podcasts, just search Big Reputations Podcast. We have an Instagram. It's Big Reputations Pod. And my personal Instagram is KimPlaints_NYC. That's like complaints, but just Kim.
It's like just Kim.
Yeah.
Thank you. And Tiff?
So I don't have a podcast, but I like to listen to all the podcasts. So yay. Anyway, you can find me at Who Is Tiff Is Me across all social medias, although I'm mainly on the Discord chatting it up with the folks from Fandom Thing Pod. So come say hello.
Thank you. And you're on a podcast all the time. So,
Advertise this one on this one.
Yeah.
This is true.
You can listen to me on past episodes of It's a Fandom Thing.
This is true, people. But, this is Erin's baby. She birthed it. Sometimes I just nanny. That's okay.
I like that. Yeah. And my baby is turning 6 years old.
Oh my God.
And next episode is going to be our 600th episode, which just, oh my God. That's like, you're muted, Kim, if you were saying something. But yeah, that's just.
I just said, wow.
Oh,
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. It's weird. I mean, I don't know. Anyway. Well, thank you, everybody. This is Fergie's favorite time of year. Fergie is a dog who loves horror movies, true crime, and Abbott Elementary. Like I mentioned a couple weeks ago, when I leave the house, instead of putting on like some like fun like pet show, put on Dateline. Or 48 Hours, one of those, but it's usually Dateline because she loves her true crime. She's such a weird dog. But you can follow her on TikTok at Schroeder and Fergs. That's SCHROEDERANDFERGS. It's long, but it's worth it. To find all our past episodes, links to our social media, including our Discord server, head on over to our website. It's afandomthingpod.com. And while you're there, consider becoming a Patreon supporter for as little as $3 a month. You get ad-free content, you get episodes a day early, you get bonus episodes, and occasionally you can win prizes. Like for our upcoming horror trivia event, which is kicking off this Saturday, October 4th. It's going to be 4 weekends, not 4 weekends, 4 nights and days, I should say, because no, we're not doing like a full weekend of trivia. And Kim and Tiff will be on a few of those nights. And if you are a Patreon supporter, you don't have to know a lick of trivia. You just choose your player and you get whatever points they get. I'm also adding a little extra thing in there so it's not like a huge tie for first. And then you can win some cool prizes. So click on the Support Us tab on our website. It's afandomthingpod.com. or click the link in our show notes. And on Friday's episode, we are kicking off Horror Month with a look at Sinners. So until next time, remember it's a fandom thing. Black Lives Matter, Stop Asian Hate, and Free Palestine.
Doug. Here we have the Limu Emu in its natural habitat, helping people customize their car insurance and save hundreds with Liberty Mutual. Fascinating. It's accompanied by his natural ally, Doug.
Limu, is that guy with the binoculars watching us?
Cut the camera. They see us.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Savings vary. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Excludes Massachusetts.
For a limited time at McDonald's, get a Big Mac extra value meal for $8. That means 2 all-beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun, and medium fries, and a drink. We may need to change that jingle.
Prices and participation may vary.